So the S&P 500 is up another day. The market rebounded. The Nasdaq was up today. So overall, it was a solid day. In today's video, we're gonna look at what to expect because I know a lot of y'all have some questions like, will this continue? Where are the opportunities, right? So we gotta discuss where to make some money for tomorrow. So let's dive into the charts right off the bat. We got the Nasdaq futures, and so far it's creeping higher. I didn't even talk about this in the last video. I only addressed the Dow Jones. I forgot to really go into detail with the Nasdaq, but it's creeping up towards 25,400. Next level of resistance, if this doesn't block its path, is this one right at 26,000. I think it's gonna be a little slow to get there. I don't think it's gonna get there tomorrow. I don't think so. I think the move might just get stretched out unless the price breaks below 25,100. As long as we stay here, we can make it to 26,000, maybe even 25,900 before Thursday. I warned y'all yesterday. The markets could still throw a curveball at some point in the middle of the week. It could be in the middle of Wednesday, or it could be on Thursday morning. I'm on the lookout for that, right? Because I'm not fully convinced that there will be no move like this. I'm not fully convinced. It's still in the back of my mind. And I am ready for it. I am patiently waiting for it. I am trading very cautiously, picking my entries, picking my exits. All right. Again, that's how you should approach the market, because this, I believe, is a dead cat bounce. But how high will the bounce be? Right? That's the interesting parts. So we'll see. We'll see. Now the Dow Jones. Let's check out actually DIA, because that one is a cleaner chart. So DIA gave a doji today. It ended up closing just a little bit green. Just a little bit. Like it opened lower at 500, dipped, retested support, and then closed above Friday's high. Tomorrow, if everything is good and we see more money flowing in the market, we should see something like this. This is for Tuesday, and then we should see something like this for Wednesday at some point. Okay, now the stock for tomorrow that I believe will provide a big opportunity for all of us. That stock is none other than AVGO. Okay, now with AVGO, I gave this one to you guys in the middle of January for one simple reason. Obviously, the path down was extremely difficult. I remember very well. It was right on the 20th or the 21st. I told y'all to watch AVGO for a drop down to 305 because of the gap fill right here, right? It went a lot lower. It went all the way down to 300 during last week's drop, which was phenomenal. Hard to trade, obviously, because of this choppiness. Very difficult to get involved right here. Extremely hard. I was focused on other stocks, as I let you guys know in the previous videos, specifically Microsoft, right? Because it was just easier. But this one did its thing also during that time. It dropped below 300, filled the gap, and then slowly, rapidly started to reverse. Now, the main worry was the gap below, which is taken care of. Good. Now, the next stop to worry about is, I would say the burning question in everybody's mind is it possible for us to go all the way up here, right? Can we try to make a move up to 400? And how fast are we going to make it up there? For the sake of this specific video, I'm not here to tell you we're gonna go to 400 tomorrow. No. But there's a level of resistance that I'm watching for tomorrow specifically, which is right here, right at 360. And I think it can get there because of this. If we look at the 1 hour, Now, if we look at the 1 hour and we zoom out, there is an ascending triangle on the chart, which I like a lot. There's an ascending triangle. It broke out this morning, right there at 9 a.m. Held and then pushed, and then had a little bit of a pullback, but not too deep of a pullback, all the way down here. So it kind of held its own and closed at 344. Now with this move and with this structure and how it is, right, and with the strength that we are seeing in the semiconductor sector, I believe that we can make a run for exactly 360 tomorrow. I believe. I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong. Yesterday I gave y'all Microsoft. I told y'all the minimum for sure that we were going to hit was 410, which I was right about. But I was very unsure about the 420. And I told y'all if the market makers were nice, they will like make, they will push the stock and fulfill that whole move all in one day. But no, they weren't very nice. It didn't get to 420. And we'll look at that real quick. But yeah, this is the analysis for AVGO, watching for a move up here by like noonish. Okay, now updates. Microsoft, I made some money on it. Everybody in the Discord made money on it. The way I approached it is we got in right here in that green circle. That's why I made that video for you guys on Sunday, because I bought it, and I told you on that video that I bought it. And my game plan was simple, and y'all know how I trade. Whenever something is gapping up in my favor, I sell half. I don't even think twice. So I sold half right here at 405. And then I waited for the push. And then as soon as it got close to 410 and then started to reject, I sold the remaining of my contracts right here, right at 408. Eventually it kept going higher and higher. I'm sure some people in the Discord got greedy and just kept holding, right? But overall, everybody got paid. I got paid, and I saw somebody in the comment section put in that they made $1,300 on Microsoft today. Congrats to you. It was gracious enough to give everybody a good entry right here with that long wick to get in at 402. All right, that way y'all can make money right there. This was a very gracious move from Microsoft for anyone who didn't get in when we got in right at 400. Okay. Where is it going to go? Again, resistance is at 420. I think we might see the opposite of this right here. You see how that long wick down is? We might see the opposite happen tomorrow, where we see a long wick up, we touch it, and then we immediately like do this, and then we slowly pull back. That's the very first thing, my first thought when I see this, or at least the way I've seen a scenario like this play out in the past. Whenever we are rebounding from this type of flight, right? That's the only thing on my mind. The test of this level followed by a struggle, I would say. It may be a pullback, but definitely a struggle. Could it break 420? Yes, but that's for another video. Now, let's talk about a stock that is reporting earnings tomorrow, which I'm sure a lot of y'all may be worried about. Hood. Now with Hood, I told y'all to watch it for a drop. It dropped all the way down to 70-ish. And now it's trying to rebound. I wouldn't buy. I wouldn't be short buys here. No, definitely would not. We already had the drop. Worst case scenario, we get an IV crush, where we go absolutely nowhere, and then the price of the contracts drop and both sides loses. Best case scenario for the dip buyers is that it spikes to 100, and then they get to collect 50% on their dip buy right up here. Right, that's the worst case and the best case scenario for Hood after the drop that I warned you guys about last week. All right, so that's my thoughts on it. That was beautiful. That was a wonderful drop. Okay, but now this is what this makes sense. And look at that. That makes sense. This makes sense to me. It's the only thing that's on my mind when I look at this. That makes sense to me. I don't see it going anywhere apart from $100 a share on the 11th after reporting earnings. The last stock that we're going to discuss in today's video, which is also another update. For those of y'all who watched yesterday's video, congrats if you took this trade to the long side. Again, see the drawing, the game plan was given to you right there on the silver platter. Right? I couldn't have made it more easier for y'all to capitalize off of this move. For those of y'all who have no problem buying inflated contracts, again, earnings this week, therefore the contracts are inflated, but there's still money to be made, and money was made. Like if you look on the chain, like if you look, this is 70%, pretty good money, right? For anybody who took the trade. Like you should have made 60 to 80% of your money to the upside. And it approached 95. It got to 93.50 today. Tomorrow, if we see another push with the indices, we could hit 95. Like that alert could ring. And then it could stagnate until the earnings report comes out for this company. Where, again, if I was a betting man, I'm not telling y'all to gamble. That is not the purpose of this video. But if I was a gambling man, I'll be buying puts on this thing for that drop. Okay? Game plan is on the charts. If you got more questions or you disagree with anything that I've mentioned in this video, I will meet you in the comments. All right? Reminder, I am not a financial advisor. Okay? So do your own research, because sometimes I am wrong. All right? And make your own decisions. Don't forget to follow my social media at Paul and Goodman and Technology Lab. And lastly, don't forget to like and follow for more.